Well, I just wanted to take a minute to walk you all through the process to set up a service in ProPresenter with all of the media slides, just getting everything going kind of from scratch. And so we'll cover a few different things, but let's just start. First and foremost, of course, open the program. And then once ProPresenter is open, it'll go to the most recent service that has been used. And so let me show you first how to add a service, and then we'll kind of go from there, and I'll walk you through some of the different processes for adding songs and things like that. So to add a service, you'll go up here to the library, hit plus. You'll go down to Planning Center Service, and then select the church that we're a part of, obviously CP Kenmore, Adult Worship Services, Sanctuary Service, 10 a.m., and then it'll show the upcoming service plans from Planning Center. We have it synced to Planning Center, and then you'll select the one you're going to add, and then select, and it pops up there. Perfect. So what you can see right here from this area is this is kind of our main operating window. So when you're doing media on a Sunday morning, this is probably the space you're most familiar with. Over here, we have what's called a playlist, and again, most of our playlists are synced to Planning Center, so that's why they have this little symbol. That's the Planning Center logo. But you can also create your own playlists and things like that. And so I think if I go up here to library, yep, I could add a playlist, new playlist folder. So there's a lot of different options there, but this is kind of where you select what service you're doing slides in. So if you needed to go back for any reason, you can see what's been done in the past. And then the library is where the different files are stored. Down here is where you'll see just kind of a smaller condensed version of what you're operating out of over here in this area, and then we'll get over to this in a little bit. But first and foremost, we have our Heyday VBS that we did this past year. That's a folder that has a number of files, so a bunch of lyrics and things like that, videos as well. Here we have sermons, so that was when we did our Revelation reading and had different slides with the scriptures. This is our song library, so this is where we have the most amount of files. You can see it says 57 items, 57 different songs that we've done that we've imported into ProPresenter. So that's where you can find all of those. And then default is just kind of basic generic slides, so our senior pastor slide, pre-service, communion, host, post-service, etc. So what I typically do is I'll start by adding in the different service order elements over here. So I'll drag in the post-service, and that's our benediction piece here. So what's cool about importing in from Planning Center is it imports in the different service order elements from your Planning Center plan. So whoever is doing media that day doesn't have to create each of these things. It just follows the service order from Planning Center. So then you'll drag in post-service. Oh, sorry, let me make sure that's highlighted. To benediction, and it's as easy as that to add in those elements. So then we'll add in the pre-service slides. Okay, that's what they are for this week. And then we'll add in the host section as well. Now in the host, it's easiest, I just to keep everything on this one area, I typically include all of our sermon slides and stuff like that rather than put them in the sermon one. Just keep them all in the same. That's kind of my main operating method. So now let's add in the songs, and then we'll make the changes that are necessary for this week. So we have Great Things, God Be, and Behold the Lamb. So we'll go down here to Great Things. Okay, then scroll down, we have God Be. So we'll just drag that one over. And so let's just say, for example, we have Behold the Lamb here in our folder. But if for some reason you don't, what you can do is you can search and type it in right there, and then this is also synced up to a program called Song Select, and it gives you some different options for hey, there's Behold the Lamb that Keith and Kristen and Stuart wrote. There's Behold the Lamb that Christian melody. So if you know the songwriter, you can kind of click and get a preview of what the lyrics are as well. So this is the one that we use. And so I could import and link, and then what I could do is walk through the formatting and things like that, make sure that's according to how I want it. So that's a really cool feature. Or if for some reason it searches and doesn't find what I'm looking for, you can just add a new presentation. So this duplicates, or not duplicates, but I can also do that feature just from down here. So that's kind of the way to add in new songs. So Behold the Lamb. So we'll drag that one in. So then the next step that we'll do is we will adjust the order of the song. And so how we do that is if you go right over here to this button, Arrangements, oops, and there we go. So this is what's called the master arrangement. So whenever you view a song like here in the library, so this is just like Be Glad, for example, it's on the master arrangement. Now I can add and create new arrangements, things like that, but this is how you would do that. So going back to our service here, February 26th, let me click in there. Okay, now we're viewing this. So the master arrangement has all of the different sections of the song, but I want it to be in the right order. So what I can do is I can hit this default arrangement, and you can see it in the order that I've created with kind of our intro or the blank slide, verse, chorus, blank again, verse, chorus, bridge, bridge, etc. So if I wanted to, let's go to God Be now, we'll find that same arrangement button, master. I could hit new arrangement, whatever I want to title it. Let's call this practice arrangement. Okay. And then say we do the bridge actually after the first chorus. Say we aren't doing verse 2, we're really changing it up. And then we go into the chorus. Well, now that's the practice arrangement, and that's it. So that's how you can like add new arrangements, edit arrangements. Honestly, for Sundays, I typically just do default arrangement. That's the main, following the recording, the main way that we do things. But feel free to change that up however you need to do it. Then we'll do that same thing with Behold the Lamb, default arrangement. Okay, everything should be all good now. We'll also add in for the response time. Let me go back up here to songs, our songs library, and drag over Behold the Lamb. That'll be, I think, the song we do for our response. For this one, I don't always know during the response time what the order of the song is going to be. So I like to leave that one just kind of at the at the master arrangement. Just the simple, the media person can kind of follow the worship leader there for that. So that's how to add in all the slides. Let me show you something real quick over here. When I click on a slide, this slide and a lot of our intro slides have the most amount of like layers to them. So elements within the slide. Within each slide, I can add I could add a background, I could add a timer, I could add, all kinds of different features to each individual slide. And you can tell what features are added by what element is added over here. So you can see that we have a clear props. So in other words, get rid of a timer that I had set up. I can add clear slide and then clear media. And so those are all the features that are on. So like this slide right here that we're on has a prop to it. It has an image. It's got, these different features. So if I wanted one of them to go away, like the prop, the timer will now go away. Then if I add that back in, the slide changed. So anyway, that's kind of what that feature does, which is pretty cool. And it doesn't take it away from the slide itself. You can still see it has that prop symbol, but it just takes it away from showing it. I could also get rid of the image, or if I just wanted to clear all, just hit the X there. So if you're ever like, this isn't the slide I meant to put on the screen, what do I do? Just clear all is a good kind of default thing to have. All the timers are all set up. Let me set this right up here. If I go to the settings bar on our pre-service tab, I can link a timer, pre-service countdown. I also just visually do kind of like to add different colors to the order of service. For whatever reason, it just kind of seems more pleasing to me. So I typically will change the colors. You don't obviously have to do this, but pre-service I set to green, service I set to blue, and then post-service to red. So I'm just doing that real quick. It's just a visual aesthetic thing for me that I tend to like. So those are all of the different elements of building out the service plan. So now let's, or the service order. Let's say you needed to add in a slide or something like that. What you can do is there's this media bin right here, and this is where all the graphic files are kept. So like up here we have the song files. Well, this is like graphics and things like that. I have different folders for those, and so what you can do is save like the image to like your desktop or downloads, and then let's say in downloads, let's go to like our candlelight service. You could add, you just drag and drop that in. I'll write it over because it's already been in, and then when I add it here to like our pre-service role or whatever, I'll need to right click to add in any of those features that I wanted to add. So I'll need to add in like a timer prop if this is to the pre-service role. So down here I have a few different timers. They're all the same timer, just different placements of it depending on what's on the actual slide. So I could add this one, and then I'll add the timer, go to next timer. So let's add 9 seconds, and then like loop to beginning. And actually let me remove that on this one so that it doesn't do that real quick. Boom. Okay, and now we'll see, let's do that one more time. It'll then go to, on this candlelight service graphic, let's see, it should go to, it looks like it has 2 different timers because of where the timer is placed there. So now what I'll also do is I'll add a clear prop so that it clears the timer placement from the previous slide and then adds this new one. So anyway, that's kind of what it looks like to add in a new graphic and things like that. Also set it to foreground and not background because we don't want it to be in the background of our lyric slides. And so those are kind of the different elements there. And now the last thing I want to show you is we'll go here to Safari, to my email. Okay. So what we'll do here is let's search for emails from Zach, because he always sends me his sermon notes, things that he wants to be up on the screen. Let's go back to, how about February 6th, or February, let's see, when was the last, here we go, the last Sunday before he preached. When you're adding in his sermon notes, what you'll do is just follow the order that he sends you. Or that he's, whoever he's communicating with, just follow the order, and then you'll just copy the element of the service, or the text that he wants copied in. Copy it by hitting Command-C on the keyboard, and then let's get rid of this media bin. We don't need that anymore. Let's scroll on down, find his sermon slides. Okay, and it's a scripture, so what I'll do is I'll right-click, highlight everything, and then I'll go up here to Edit and Paste and Match Style. Boom. And so that's how you can add in the different content from Zach. And if you right click, you can, as I said, edit slide. You can adjust that to maybe you want there to be a little bit more of a line break there, whatever you want it to be. You can also change it to where it's maybe you, instead of a white background, you want a black background. Well, let's highlight this slide. That's the one we're trying to then change. So then we'll go to this CPK sermon, this template right here that's already been set and saved. This is the CPK scriptures. You use the second one. And so we'll go to this one, and then let's go ahead and I think I already had that information copied. So now we'll come over here and paste and match style. Okay, so that's a little bigger than our actual, than the previous slide was. So what we'll have to do is just highlight it, and then you can obviously adjust with kind of a basic, just formatting tools over here to the right. So those are, this is kind of an in-depth way to show you, but then to go back, you'll hit show. Anyway, this is kind of an in-depth thing, but I hope this is helpful for you. This is about a 15-minute overview of ProPresenter as a whole. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. And there are also some good online sources that I will make sure are available to you. But thank you for taking the time to watch this, and I hope it helps.